In the late 1960s and early 1970s, fear gripped Northern California as an enigmatic and ruthless killer stalked the region. This elusive and sinister figure, known as the Zodiac Killer, left a trail of terror and mystery that endures to this day. The reign of the Zodiac Killer began in the San Francisco Bay Area. His first known victims, high school students Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday, were shot and killed on a desolate road in December 1968. This brutal act was just the beginning of a reign of terror that would baffle law enforcement and haunt the public. The killer earned his name through a series of cryptic letters sent to local newspapers. These letters contained ciphers and bizarre symbols, challenging anyone who dared to decode them. The police received taunting messages from the killer, who claimed responsibility for several murders. One such letter read, "This is the Zodiac speaking. The next known victims, Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard, were attacked at Lake Berryessa in September 1969. The killer approached them while wearing a hooded costume, complete with a strange symbol. He bound them and then brutally stabbed them repeatedly. He left another coded message at the crime scene. The city of San Francisco was on edge as news of the murders spread. Fearful citizens began locking their doors and windows, and the police worked tirelessly to catch the elusive killer. Despite extensive investigations and surveillance, the Zodiac Killer continued his deadly spree. In October 1969, a San Francisco cab driver, Paul Stein, became the killer's next victim. Stein was shot in his cab, and the killer took a piece of his shirt as a grisly trophy. Eyewitnesses provided descriptions of the assailant, but the killer remained at large. The police received more letters and ciphers, adding to the confusion and panic. The killer claimed to have killed up to 37 people, although only a handful of confirmed victims were attributed to him. His messages contained threats and eerie details that sent chills down the spines of those who read them. The case took another perplexing turn when a couple, Darlene and Michael Majot, were attacked in a car. Darlene was killed, but Michael survived. He described the assailant as a man with a round face and glasses, which contradicted earlier witness descriptions. The investigation into the Zodiac Killer became one of the most extensive and challenging in California's history. Law enforcement agencies from different jurisdictions collaborated, but the killer seemed to always be one step ahead. Despite the relentless efforts of investigators and the FBI, the Zodiac Killer remained unidentified and elusive. He taunted the authorities with his letters, but the cryptograms he sent remained a mystery. Over time, the killings ceased, and the Zodiac Killer faded into obscurity. The public's fear subsided, but the question of his identity persisted. Numerous suspects were considered, but none led to a conclusive breakthrough. Decades later, the Zodiac Killer remains a perplexing enigma. The unsolved case continues to captivate the minds of amateur sleuths, true crime enthusiasts, and law enforcement professionals. The cryptic ciphers sent by the killer are still being analyzed, and attempts to unmask his identity persist. The legacy of the Zodiac Killer is one of enduring fear and uncertainty. His true identity remains one of the greatest mysteries in the annals of American crime. The terror he inflicted on Northern California in the late 1960s and early 1970s serves as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the shadows. The Zodiac Killer may never be unmasked, and his identity may forever remain hidden. Yet, the memory of his reign of terror serves as a testament to the resilience of those who seek answers, the courage of the survivors, and the dedication of those who continue the quest to reveal the face of this serial killer, unmasking the shadow that has haunted generations.